So my wife doesn't know it yet. We're gonna go pick up my F800 so I can use my gooseneck trailer. I just bought a 1974 John Deere 830, little three-cylinder diesel tractor. Surprisingly, it actually runs. It's kind of a first for me. Usually I drag stuff home that don't run, but still has issues. The big ones that I know of are it's getting diesel fuel in the engine oil, and they said they've replaced the lift pump on it, so pretty well gonna assume that's the seal on the injection pump letting fuel by. The block heater doesn't work. That's not a huge deal. That should be a pretty simple fix. And then the main problem right now is when it gets cold outside, the tractor will not move. The brakes are pretty well locked up on it. So just going to take a wild guess by looking at the shifter boots that were on it. The oil's probably full of water, and I'm suspecting that it is literally freezing when it gets cold, because whenever it warms up or it's been inside the shop, it doesn't have the problem. So we're gonna go see if we get the F800 to start and drag this thing home. The way I told my wife that I bought this is when I brought it home, it was actually Valentine's Day. So that little sign, I took a picture of the tractor on the trailer with that cardboard sign, tagged her in a Facebook post, thanking her for my Valentine's Day gift. As I was leaving when I bought the tractor, posted on Facebook, started driving down the road, and within 45 seconds I got a phone call from her wanting to know what I was doing. I guess since I failed to make a video when I unloaded off the trailer and first looked at it, I'll do a quick walk around, kind of talk about all the things that were wrong with it. So first off, rear tires aren't the best. They hold air. Rims are a little rusty. I do believe they still have calcium in them, so we might in the future get that changed out. Did confirm that the block heater did not work. It was also installed incorrectly. It was installed horizontally, not vertically, and these basically work on a thermo siphon, so the hot needs to go up. So I'll make a video on getting the block heater changed out. Did confirm that there was diesel fuel getting into the engine oil. So I'll make a video on doing the injection pump shaft seal. They obviously put a new transfer pump on it. They changed the engine oil, ran it for, I'd say, about an hour. Still getting fuel into the oil, so that pretty well leaves the injection pump. The hydraulics had a bunch of water in them. The main problem was when it got cold out, there was so much water and it would freeze and the brakes would lock up, and even the steering would lock up. So I'll make a video on digging into that, which I already got them on now, but the shifter boots here are the main places water gets inside of the transmission, especially when it sits outside. So the old boots were cracked here. This kind of makes a little dish, hold the water. If it's cracked, water just runs straight into the transmission. A little less likely, which we still need to address this, on the SCV control valve. There's a couple boots there that are cracked and not helping our cause. What else was there? So back to the brakes. We'll get some new oil in it. We'll flush it out and see where that gets us. I'm assuming we're probably gonna have to put brakes in this. We'll probably see how it acts once we get new oil in it. But we're probably gonna at least pull one axle cover off to probably pull one of these off to look at the brake disc and just see where it's at. The other thing we need to do is acquire a drawbar, or we might make one. I need to just call the machine shop and see how much a chunk of steel costs. If it's cheaper than buying a used drawbar, that's what I'm gonna do, but I think a used drawbar is only 60, 80 bucks. So that's probably what's gonna happen there. It does have a new battery in it. Oh, the brakes, which they're not acting up now. It's also warm out. I do have a video clip of them acting up. I'll add that here in the video. But basically, especially this outer one, if you were to gradually, well, see, it kind of did it there. If you gradually pushed on the brakes, you could basically get this to go full stroke. It would never build brake pressure. But if you hammered on them pretty quick, it would catch and build brake pressure. So here's the brake valve. There's a little bit of oil leaking out here. Probably not normal, but it's also not too bad. So we'll dig into that. There's several check valves in there. So maybe we just got a rusty check valve we can clean up. Or it could just be the oily, watery oil in it causing issues. But that's basically the plans for now. Once we get the major issues sorted out on it, we'll do a full service on it. So we'll get to see that. Try to turn the steering wheel here. Just the other side is a lot worse. We'll probably end up putting tie rods on it, just because I'm honestly surprised that they're still holding and they just haven't fallen off. They're pretty loose. Also, when it put a water pump in it too. I found that out when I was messing with the injection pump. Let me see if I get my flashlight here. Hopefully you can tell how much play the water pump has in it. It's not very good, so we'll get that taken care of as well. And I guess we'll just see if we find anything else wrong with it during the whole process. So obviously this is not going to be one video. I'm going to break this down into several videos, and it's probably going to take me a few weeks to even get the work done. And then it'll probably take me a little bit to even edit each video. So hopefully you stay tuned to this little series.